What's up, guys? Welcome to week number 6 of TPI Tuesday. I'm Matt Santoro. I'm a doctor of physical therapy as well as a TPI certified medical practitioner. Now today on TPI Tuesday, we're going to switch the format up a little bit. So instead of me just picking a body part or body function to talk about, we're actually going to do a full TPI screen. So I have Joe here. Joe's going to be the client for the day. We're going to screen him so this way you guys can at home see what's going on and what an actual TPI screen looks like. So for the first part of the screen, we're going to look at Joe's setup, his setup at address, and think about setting up with a 5-iron or a 5 hybrid, since most people don't quite carry 5 irons much anymore. So we're going to get Joe set up. So Joe, go right into your setup. Good. Now this is going to be one of the bases for our screen. I'm going to take this club away from you. What I want you to do is cross your arms over the chest. So maintain that position. Now Joe's setup actually looks very good. What we see is that he has a straight spine going down. He's not in an S posture or a C posture. If he had one of those, he would look in a C posture. He'd be rounded, or an S posture. He'd have the back kicked out a little bit, just like that. So Joe's setup is very good. So Joe, can you stand on up and have you face towards the front for me? And now get in that same posture again, that 5-iron posture, and cross the arms over the shoulders. Now we're going to look at how Joe is able to rotate his pelvis independent of the upper body. So Joe, without moving this upper part here, I want you to try to rotate the pelvis just like this. Go side to side. Now how does that feel to you?
Difficult.
All right, so it feels difficult. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to Joe's shoulders here and continue that motion. And now if you look at Joe's pelvis, you see that he's got more rotation. Now how does that feel?
Better.
Better. So what that tells me is that Joe can benefit from a little bit of upper body stability. Now we're going to switch that up. So keep your pelvis stable, and now just rotate the upper body. So Joe's able to dissociate very well. He's able to move the body independently of the lower body. But let's just see if we give him some more stability, how that changes. So I'm going to hold the hips here, Joe, and go ahead and turn again. Now how does that feel?
I feel like I can go a little bit further.
You definitely can. So now Joe, with some more lower body stability, is able to rotate more. In the golf swing, that's going to translate to a larger backswing, to a larger downswing, and possibly some more distance. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at a big multi-body part movement. So we're going to look at your squat, Joe. What I'm going to have you do is take this driver and put it up on the head just like this. All right. So Joe's arms are set up perfectly. We have 90 degrees at the shoulder, 90 degrees at the elbow. Now go ahead and press that straight up overhead. And now as far as you're comfortable, I want you to go down into a squat. Okay, come on up. Can you face me and do that one more time? Start with the club on the head. Look straight ahead and press up. Good, and drop down to a squat. Now what you guys at home can see is that Joe's torso leans forward a lot. The club moves forward, and he's unable to keep the club up overhead behind him. So we're going to give him a red flag on that one. I'll take this. Thank you very much. That's going to be something that we're going to want to look a little bit further into, and we'll do that right now. So Joe, take your hands, place them like this behind your head, and now try that same squat. Okay, come on up. So without using the arms, the squat looked a little bit similar, so we're going to want to look at something a little bit different now. And a lot of times people are limited in their ankles, and that's going to translate forward into the squat. So Joe, what I'm going to have you do is get on one knee, so one knee up, one knee down. Good, just like that. So without trying too hard, what I want you to do is bring this knee further in front of you as far as you can. And now you guys can't quite see this, but Joe's shifting over to his left side a little bit. So try and bring that just straight over the front. Go as far as you're able. Good. And now I'm going to measure this. So we're going to take my club, we're going to measure with one fist, and place the club here. So Joe's unable to reach that club on this one side. Let's switch sides and check the other. Good. Lunge on forward. Good. A little bit more stable on this side, but still a little bit of a shift. So go back, and now just try and track the knee right over the toe. Good. And we're going to see a little bit more of a limitation here. So what that tells me is that Joe's ankles are pretty tight. He doesn't have the mobility that he needs to help get set up into a golf posture. So Joe, can you stand on up for me? Now, still facing the way you are. Get the feet together. And I have you bend forward and touch the toes.
This is not a trick.
All right, so Joe can't quite touch his toes. Stand on up for me. We're going to change this up a little bit. We're going to check one side versus the next. So perfect. Joe's got the set up perfectly. One toe is going to be in the middle of the foot. Reach on down. A little bit better. Let's try the other side. Bend on forward. All right, good. So Joe's able to get further on one leg than he is on both. So what we would do is, after the main screen, we're going to break that out, and we're going to figure out why that is. Could be because of stability, could also be because of mobility, but we're going to figure out why later. So the next test I'd like you to do, Joe, is face the camera for me here, and we're going to put your arm out 90 degrees like this. I want you to rotate back. Good, so Joe's able to rotate back a bit past 90 degrees, probably closer to 100, lower down. Let's try the other side. So we're going to start you here. Good, rotate back. Good, and about the same thing happens. Now what I want you to do is face towards the wall there for me. We're going to take this arm, and actually let's get you in golf posture first. So cross the arms over the shoulders. Good, we're going to bring you out to here. Nice and relaxed for me. Good, and now rotate back as far as you can. Good, Joe loses a little bit, but he's still able to rotate past the ear, so that would be good. Lower down and switch. Perfect. So get set up in your golf posture, cross the arms, bring this out, and rotate back now. Good. He's able to get past the ear. Again, loses a little bit of distance, but not too bad. And this is my favorite test to watch. Joe, can you face forward for me? We're going to put our feet together. Now what I want you to do is stand only on the left, lift your right leg up, 90 degrees at the hip, 90 degrees at the knee. Good. So we're just going to check Joe's balance here. If he's good, we're going to have him close his eyes. Now normal, put your foot down, for a PGA Tour average is 25 seconds. So we want someone to be able to close their eyes and maintain their balance for a full 25 seconds in order to be on par, if you will, with the men and women of the PGA or the LPGA Tour. So let's try the other side here. Good. So Joe's balance with his eyes open is definitely good. He's pretty stable, hasn't moved at all. So Joe, can you close your eyes for me? 2. We're just going to count quietly.
Come on, 25 seconds.
All right, lower it down. That's perfect. Regularly, we would keep him there for about that 25 seconds. So we notice that his balance on the right side is better than his balance on the left side. We want that to be even, ideally, in order for better performance on and off the course. Now, our next test that we're going to do, Joe, I'm going to have you come over to the wall. Thank you. So Joe's going to go into a little bit of a wall sit. I'm going to take the driver, and I'm going to slide it behind his back here. Oops, sorry about that. Good. Now I want you to keep that driver pinned there. Put your arms at your side. Thumbs out. Good. We're going to have Joe lift up and try and touch the wall. Perfect. And then switch to the other side. Perfect. Excellent. Let me take this from you. So Joe rocked that one. That was the lat test. We're looking at how long the latissimus muscle is. No problems there. Okay. Now, you guys at home, if you look right down onto the floor, you'll see we have this box set up. And Joe, what I'd like you to do is get your left foot right at the center of this cross, a little bit further back, so your toe is perfect right there. I'm going to have you take your right foot, put it right just the way we did for that single leg test. And now I'm going to have you rotate as far as you can towards me as if you're rotating into the backswing. Okay? Try and bring those hips along with you. Excellent. So what I'm seeing here is that Joe's rotation into the backswing for the left side is a little bit limited. So let's switch feet. And now again, rotate into the backswing. Good. He's limited there as well. So we check the backswing. Next, we're going to move to the downswing. So you can stay where you are, and now you're going to rotate to your left into the downswing. Bring those hips with you if you can. All right, and let's switch feet again. Good. A little bit better than on the right side, but Joe's still a little bit limited. So in order for an efficient golf swing, we're going to want the pelvis to begin rotation before the upper body. If Joe's limited with what his pelvis is able to do, he's going to try and compensate somewhere else in the swing in order to get that rotation to hit the ball a little bit further. So that's something we're going to want to look at again down the road. Okay, now we're going to take this box, Joe. Can you hold on to this one for me? Thank you. We're going to set the box up. Joe, can you sit on the corner facing forward? Excellent. So we looked at the pelvis rotation. Now we want to look at the trunk rotation. So I'm going to take this club. I'm actually going to put it on the back. So right here you can grab on. Perfect. And now we're going to rotate to the right first. So what I'd like you to do is cross your right foot over the left. Excellent. Now I'm going to stand up above Joe just to watch. I have a couple markers on the ground. So Joe, rotate all the way to your right as far as you can. Good. Excellent. Straight. And now let's switch feet. So the left was crossed over. And rotate to the left. Good. Joe's rotation to the right is a little bit less than his rotation to the left. So what that might indicate is that his backswing might be a little limited. Now if we combine that with what's going on at his pelvis, he's going to again try to compensate somewhere. We're going to need to figure out why and figure out how we can improve that. Okay. Stand on up. Excellent. Let me just grab a mat real quick for you to lay down on. All right. Joe, go ahead and lie down on your back. Okay. Excellent. Now, what I'd like you to do is bend those knees back a little bit further. Excellent. And now, clap your hands up above your chest like this. Push off of your heels to lift your pelvis up, and I'm going to have you march 3 times on each side. Just lift the leg, lower down, 2, and 3. Excellent. Now, go back up. I want you to stay there. Now, Joe, what I'm going to try to have you do is straighten out that left knee, so you're only going to be working on the right. And we're going to check this for 10 seconds. So we see a little bit of a shake. What that tells me is Joe's glutes on his right side may not be as strong as they need to be. You can go ahead and lower down. Good. Take a little bit of a break. Lift on up again, and now straighten out that other side. So now we're checking the left side glute muscle. And we see that Joe's pelvis dips a little bit on the right side. So again, the glute muscle on that other side, on his left side, might not be as strong as it needs to be. So stand on up, Joe. All right. So just a couple more, thank you very much. A couple more tests that we're going to do. Those are 12 of the 16. So stand right in that center for me. I'm going to have you do, keep the arms relaxed, and have you look as far to the right as you can. Good. And now tuck your chin down, so you look down. Good. We have a little bit of a gap here, which we're not exactly thrilled about. We're going to want Joe to get his chin to touch his collarbone. Let's check the left side. You rotate over, tuck down. And again, a little bit of a gap, a little bit less on the left side. Okay, now what I'd like to have you do is tuck the elbows in. I would like you to spin your palms up. Excellent. Joe gets the right 90 degrees that we need, and then spin on down. And he gets perfect amount there as well. So no problems at the forearms, which we discussed last week. Now, Joe, can you face the front for me here? Bring your arm out and make a fist. So we're going to check Joe's wrists now. We're going to use a 6-iron to do this. The lie angle on a 6-iron is actually perfect for this. It's just about 60 degrees. So go grab your AP1s, your AP2s, your Titleist irons, and we're going to check this out. So Joe, what I have you do is bring the wrist back. We're going to spin this up. We're going to check. Joe's close, not quite there. Maybe we need another 5 degrees. Bend down. And this side I'm happy with. Can you spin around? Let's check the other side. Okay, so arm goes out. Pull the wrist back. Good. I like this left side. And down. Excellent. The left side is definitely better than the right there. We have a little bit more that we can work on. Okay. And lastly, Joe, we're just going to check your wrist hinge. So we'll do both arms at the same time. We're going to hinge up, and then we're going to hinge down. Joe's got both of those perfectly. So he's able to hinge, which again we discussed last week, some of the benefits of doing that in the golf swing. So that was a full TPI screen. What we would do after this is get all of Joe's information off of our TPI app. It will give us all of the swing characteristics that Joe might demonstrate in the golf swing and see if that correlates to what he's seeing out on the course. With that information, we get an individualized exercise program to work his mobility, his stability, as well as his endurance for better performance on and off the course. So if you guys have any questions, as always, leave a comment down below. We'll get back to you as soon as we can, or just give us a phone call. Our phone number is 732-720-2566. I'll see you next week on TPI Tuesday.
Thanks, man.